Hi Cindy, hi everybody. I am Nicole, Nikki, or Nick, whichever you prefer, and I am the Antisocial Auntie. So Cindy at the Roomy Mill Crochet has recently done a WIP parade, and now that I'm not done with chickens, but I did a lot of chickens for the chicken obsessed friend, and I kind of have been putting that off. I can now look at all of my WIPs and get started on these again, so I thought I would share them with you. And we're going to start off with a chicken, actually, and a chicken. So I made an emotional support chicken for the same chicken obsessed friend. It was last year. And instead of using acrylic yarn, which is what the pattern says to use, I used blanket yarn. And that thing came out like a pillow. As I was doing it, it's like, I need one. I'm not a chicken fan, but there are some things I just need. And I'm making a goth version. So I have my goth version chicken. She is all knit up. I have her bits and bobs. I just need to sew her together. I have some yarn to do eyeliner when I get the eyes in. I've got her black comb and black wattle. And I have her spikes to go right here. I did not mean to use that finger. To right here to get her done. She cannot be really dealt with out in public because that's a lot of stuffing and I can't bring that huge bag to get her stuff properly. So this is something I need to do when I'm at home. I'm not sure I'm going to recommend this pattern. I will discuss that more in the video when she's finished. But yeah, there's one. Now my friend that I had just done the chicken hunt for, yeah, and I had told you in the last video that I'm done with chickens. There was one I was going to finish, it was too complicated. And unfortunately, she was not supposed to move to warmer weather till next year, but she found the house. And when you find the perfect house, you need to grab it. She's leaving a lot sooner than I thought. So instead of waiting for 2 months, this chicken's coming back out. So this is actually the pattern, Amelia the Duck. And that is in the Knitted Animal Friends by Louise Crowther. It could be Lois Crowther, not sure. But I'm taking Amelia the Duck and turning her into a chicken. So I have the dress completely, well, almost done. I just have a few more rows here and then to get the sleeves on. The issue with this one, why I had to put it away, is the buttonholes. This little strand here, by the time I get a button that won't slip through the buttonhole, it's too wide for this. So I'm going to sew that together. Not the whole dress. I'm going to sew the buttonholes together and find some snaps to put it on there. But I have her arms, her head, and her body done. I just need to get the legs done. And I have her cute little bag. I just need to sew that together. That buttonhole is fine. And do the straps. I'm going to add some shoes too. Yeah, I don't have as much time. I was going to put this off and then get it done this summer. But that one is going to be worked on starting this weekend. Get that going. And then I found a nice big bag. And some of the stuffies in there were things I'd finished. Some were things friends had finished. And then there's this guy. He was in, I think, my first video, my longest WIP. I worked on him before 2012 because that's when I moved out to Seattle. And I finally finished him except his eyes. So technically he's done because I've made a lot of snowmen without eyes, but he needs his eyes. So this is going to be finished this weekend. We're going to get him seeing things again. In that same bag, any of you remember these? The Pocket Snuggle Slugs. Now the Snuggle Slug is a pattern by Stitch Sister Co. And okay, so you got the pocket version, the medium version I haven't made, and then the jumbo version. These again just need eyes, get them in there. So those are going to be done this weekend, but in that same bag. I got some jumbos here. So this one, I got all of the original part done, and then you change to a smaller hook. That's done. I just need to split and start doing the eye stalks on this. This is another one of those situations where I can do these easily. I mean, you just make a tube. So I can go into a coffee shop with a friend without any struggle. But then I have to take a huge bag of stuffing to make that work. This one, I have gone to where I need to go down the size of hook, which I believe was in that bag, so that's why I didn't do it. So this one has a little bit more to do, but those should be done next week if I can stay home long enough to do it. And this one, I have 3 discs almost done. 2 of them are completely done. This is going to be a crab shopping bag, and it is the Sea Life Folding Shopping Bag Trio by 1 and 2 Company. And yeah, it's supposed to be done with a sport weight yarn. I didn't have any at the time, so I was going to make one with fingering weight that I have a ton of, and then hold it double to see just the difference between those two. And that was it for this. This, I think, started over a year ago. The discs are done. It is staggered increases, so I couldn't just, you know, put stitch markers where all of them are going to be increased every single stitch, or I mean every single round. I did have to pay more attention to this, but I'm almost done with that part. So it should be just the claws, the eyes, you know, the regular bits and bobs, and that one to be done. But that one could be a few weeks, actually, before I get to that. And next is the Festival of Stitches shawl. This is by Lisa Hans, or Hans, and this is how it looks so far. This was a mystery shawl, if I remember right. Every section was released every week, and I am right at starting where it's going to be mosaic knitting, which I've never done before, and that's the point of me doing this shawl, was to see if I even like it. Okay, I did try a couple of rounds last year at some point and just went, oh no, no, this is no. But I was at someone else's house, you know, doing crafting, so I was distracted. Plus I was in pain because I had injured myself fairly recently at that point, and the medication, you know, some of that medication is really good. So I might not have understood how it is. It could be very easy, I just didn't get it. That one is going to be started again, and if I decide I don't like mosaic knitting, it's fine. I can just rip that part off and not do that section. That's the best part about the section kind of shawl. I can just grab another one and do it twice, you know, something like that. And then I found this bag I'd forgotten about. Many years ago, I made snowball ornaments. But because they were knit, I put a whole bunch of yarn on one needle and made 10 at a time. I have so many of these. They need eyes, stuffing, and to be sewn up. Get a ribbon on them, which I have a lot of, and then given away. That's it. I have definitely maybe 20 of these little things. Yeah, so there we go with that. That makes that number 11. Oh, you know what? I thought I had 11, 12 if you're picky, but actually, oh, sorry. That snowball thing was so long ago. It was a free pattern. I have no idea where the pattern even is because I know I don't need it anymore. It's probably on my computer, lost in all of the files. So here we go. I have succeeded in starting a ripple afghan. And this is flipped. And this is influenced by the book 100 Colorful Ripple Stitches to Crochet by Leonie Morgan. And it started off where it was going to be all half double crochet, but I figured that might be too heavy of a blanket, like physically heavy, hard to lift. So I switched over to double crochet, and I'm only on row 3, and I think it's working better. So this is a newer WIP, but also a more mindless one now that I've got it situated enough. I understand how to read it, and that can easily go with me when I'm taking my friends to appointments and things like that. And then the project that I won't show very often because it is a work in progress, but yet it is a long-term thing, is a scrap blanket. So this is influenced by the Jelly Roll blanket, and I cannot remember that designer's name. Basically, it's like a quilting jelly roll, but you're doing it with yarn. And every time I finish a project that is fingering weight, I put it in here. I'm also putting it in the order that happened. Like these bright colors here, that was a countdown to Halloween years and years ago. And I made a cowl that came with, the pattern came with the countdown. And then, so these are in order, and they just happen to lay like that. So that's why there's duplicate colors. And then that's the temperature blanket. And when that shawl gets done, I will be putting more on there. So that's it. That will probably take 5 years. So it's a work in progress, but yet not. It's more of a scrap disposal system for my small skeins of, yeah, fingering weight yarn. But that's it. I have 11. No, I have 12. I have 12 actual projects with one scrap disposal system for fingering weight yarn. That's a lot. We're going to be getting, I will get the eyes done. That's a lot. And I'm going to do it. I'm still going to cast on Craftably Ever After, her Grumpy Bear. I've got the yarn pulled out and put in a bag. And I'm going to start working on Emo Baby from Brit at the Nerdy Girl Crochets. I'm doing it. So before I head out, I wanted to tell you about a couple of channels. One is Andrea, who is the knitting PT. And even though you're not a knitter, she's started doing shorts that are called Wednesday WIP and Wellness. Love that name. And she starts off where she will quickly show what she's working on, usually a sweater. And then she will do a physical therapy exercise to basically for your posture and repetitive motion with your hands. Since she's a crafter, she's specifically doing things for us. And yeah. So you might be interested in just watching it and then not doing the exercises, because that's what I do. And then the last channel I want to talk about is another antisocial auntie. When I had sent a friend a link, no, I did not send him the link. That was where this came up. I sent him a message saying, hey, finally put my 6th video out. And he came back with, do you know there's another antisocial auntie and she does similar things than you do? Instant follow, instant follow. So I did go on. She only does shorts, but it looks like she's only started doing these this year in January. But her WIP Wednesday is, she has this big box of WIPs and she pulls one out and then finishes them for WIP Wednesday. I didn't. I didn't do that. But I just thought I would give a shout out to her. I don't have her actual name because we have only just begun talking. But I know there are thousands of antisocial aunties. We just don't talk to each other. We should, you know, my email's down below. We should actually start chatting about how wonderful it is to not actually deal with people. And that's it. That's it. That's all I've got. So I hope everyone is doing well and is safe where they are. And yeah, no matter where you are on the planet, just remember Aunt Nikki loves you. Sleep sweet. And I will talk to you again real soon. Bye.